Hello and welcome to the Gatewatch Cast. I am your host, Sanzo, and joining me today is our first guest for, this episode or the show, Adam.
Hi.
So Adam, for them at home who got no idea who you are, could you tell them who you are and what you do?
Okay. Hi everyone. My name is Adam. I'm the storekeeper for Alexandria Bookstore. I'm basically the person handling everything in the store. Yeah.
All right. So, how long has this store been around? Because I've heard stories that you went way back during the days, like from the grassroots days, or playing at McDonald's and stuff. But how long has the Alexandria been around?
Okay. Well, I think we were around for quite a while. I think I only started doing things from the back of my car. So I think we started around 2004, 2005. Yeah. And I have been doing it from the back of my car for that long, up to recently, which is about 2013.
I think so. I came here when what was it? Teros was ending and Kans was coming out.
Mm-hmm. So in 2013, after careful consideration and support from the community in general, I decided that maybe I would like to take the jump and then work out on opening up a brick and mortar store. So yes, we have been here for about 6 years, 2013 up to now. 14, yeah, it's about 6 years.
Wow.
It's about 6 years.
Technically, that's a huge accomplishment because I've been around the block for card games from Yu-Gi-Oh to Vanguard and so on. I remember playing at a mall, and the mall is still standing, but the store is not. And there's also competitors like other stores that they were doing F&Ms like you guys did, and they're not around. Even if they are around, they don't really focus on Magic nowadays. So you guys are going strong.
Well, thank you. But the only reason why we are still going strong is because the community is still supporting us. Without the community itself, I do not think that we would actually have a brick and mortar, and without the community, we probably wouldn't have survived this long.
All right. Yeah. So one thing I have to ask: why a store? Like, why get into Magic?
Well, I first started Magic when I was like I think I was 13. Yes, that was like ages ago, a long time.
What was the set back then?
I started, I think it was 2013. Yeah, I started with I think Ice Age. Wait, no, not 20. Sorry, let me see. How many years? How old am I? I'm like 26. Gosh, it's a long time. I mean, if I were to do the numbers, okay. So I started that long, and then I started with Ice Age. Basically, it was just a bunch of kids. Friend decided to bring some Magic cards, and then I found that it was interesting, and then I decided to start buying my own stuff. And I continued playing for a while. I think in the small town, bunch of kids. And then after when I reached secondary school, when I reached about Form 3, when I was 15, I kind of stopped. Parents said that cards were not the way to go.
How wrong they were.
So I lost touch with Magic for quite a while, and then I returned to Magic when Lorwyn released.
Oh, Lorwyn.
Yes.
Lorwyn would be, let's see. I'm trying to look at dates here at the same time, but oh gosh.
I think Lorwyn should be in 2000. It's about 2003, 2004.
2004. Yeah, it looks like about it. Dark Steel, and then there's Ravnica Guild. Could be later.
It's after Alara.
Legend, Scourge, Onslaught, Judgment. Ooh.
Yeah,
Not
okay.
bad.
So it's about here. I mean, yeah, it's about. It's so much further down.
Yeah. It's Urza Legacy. So
Yeah. Okay.
that will be in 99 or 98, something like that.
I think so. Okay, wait. Let me. Sorry, this taking.
So this is Ice Age. Ice Age was in 95. So while I look for Alara, how was Ice Age back then? Like, what was the pack? Like, I remember Ice Age being one of those sets that are kind of amazing and fun because of the basic lands are snow basic lands, and what was it? Some of the spells were snow based.
From my perspective, as a small time player, I didn't actually see anything special. So, and besides, in terms of budget, I didn't actually spend. I mean, I wasn't able to really spend. I don't actually know. I because there was no database back then. We don't, at best we only had magazines. So a lot of the stuff that we just buy is from the decks that the pre-con decks that they made back then. And then I remember back then I actually liked playing blue.
Oh wow, okay.
Back then I actually liked playing blue. I like playing red and blue.
Red and blue.
Yes. Because back then I liked the fact that I could counter people's spells. And yes, I could burn.
Oh yeah.
So probably the most memorable card I had back then was, for me, right now it's a vanilla. It's Mahamoti Jin.
Oh.
Yeah. It was back then it was one of the stronger cards available. But ever since we've got new sets, so Mahamoti Jin has been dumbed down so much.
I'll say this: Shivan Dragon has been reprinted to hack.
Yes, correct.
But still, the Unlimited and so on, they still hold a hefty price.
Yes.
And Lorwyn was in 2007.
2007. Wow, it brings back a lot of memories.
Yeah. Was it that the day that you kind of started out?
Not really. I just it so happened that when I got back to Magic, I actually saw a store selling it, and I said, "Oh gosh, this is like something from my childhood," and everything just came back. And I actually spent a lot of money just to collect my Lorwyn. And in actual fact, Lorwyn is one of the in the bigger scheme of things, Lorwyn wasn't really a big deal.
Yeah.
I mean, in the bigger scheme of Magic things. But for me, Lorwyn has always had a very special place because I restarted Magic in Lorwyn. And Lorwyn was also the first time I actually got to see Planeswalkers.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was the first time they came out with the Planeswalkers. And from then on, I literally chose that, okay, I like Ajani.
Oh.
Yeah, because that was the first time the 5 Planeswalkers were revealed. They had no backstory. They were just cards that were put into the Lorwyn set itself.
So basically, back in the days, you have 5 Planeswalker. Most of them were mono. So you have Ajani for white, Jace for blue, Liliana for black,
Chandra for red,
and
Garruk.
Garruk
For green.
Garruk for green, yeah. So those were the original 5.
Yes.
But nowadays they changed to what Nisa is green.
Yes.
And then
Out of the original 5, only 3 remain, which is Jace, Liliana, and Chandra.
Chandra was
Chandra. And then white at one time was Gideon.
Yeah.
Now we've got a lot of other white Planeswalkers.
Yeah, true.
Okay. And not only that, you have hybrid Planeswalkers with 2 colors.
Oh yeah.
So things have changed so much, as progressed in such a way that when I first saw Planeswalkers, I said, "Oh, I didn't expect Planeswalkers with 2 colors."
Those were like Planeswalker back then were like. I remember looking at Planeswalkers like, what is this? How do you even play this? And mind you, I started in Teros, the beginning of Teros. So whenever I see like Jace, what was Jace Ravnica? Jace something, I forgot.
I don't know. Anything that you ask me about blue, I have no idea. Because
I just saw a Jace and they're like, wow, this card is strong, but so on. Like, Planeswalker back then, if you got no idea what you're dealing with, was strong.
Yes. There wasn't really that much in terms of removal also. So the only way for you to actually take it down is by creature.
Or burn.
Yeah,
like,
or burn.
Back then, burning was ridiculous.
Yes, correct.
Oh, rule change nowadays. Like, So, you started on Lorwyn, and from that point on, like, 2007. Where was the store? Where were you back then?
In 2007, there was no store. I actually just started on my own, and then I just played by myself. Played by myself, and then I introduced it to, because at that time I was tutoring, so I had some kids that I poisoned. So I got some of them. One of them is still playing. Okay, is Hao HL.
Oh, yeah, okay. Oh, him.
HL was my student.
Him.
He's still one of the few that's playing. And then, I got to know, eventually I got to know that there was a Magic community in Johor Bahru itself.
Yeah, but if I'm not mistaken, back then, like, from my point of view, yes, there is, but there's no place to buy many of the packs. Like, some of the players would play in Singapore or buy stuff in Singapore or KL or even Melaka, no, right?
Initially, with regards to the JB community, there was a JB community, there was a shop. But due to what most of our older players call the purge, okay, Magic sort of died in JB.
Why? What was the reason?
Partly, this is from what I've been gathering from the older players. I was not part of that group, so this is based on what they have been telling me. Initially, there was a shop over in Holiday Plaza.
Oh, yeah.
And this shop was the one that ran all the events.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then they themselves they managed to have the events. They have a tournament organizer, and they did run their events over in McDonald's, a couple of places, Pandan, McDonald's here and there. And then there was that one situation where they were playing over in Holiday Plaza, McDonald's, and they were chased out of McDonald's. Yeah, so. And also the fact that the price of the packs went up at one time.
How much was it back then?
I can't remember. That was back then it's just them. So I have no idea. And then it sort of died. Some of the older players who were kids back then, they moved on. They went to uni, college, and then they played where they were. Okay, and sooner or later, by a couple of years, I managed to meet up with I think a couple of the older players, and then I hooked up with the tournament organizer from back then, who's still with us. Is Fuad. And from there, one step, and then we decided to just restart the whole thing. The main job was done by me, basically. I had to, basically I was selling everything from the back of my car. And I'm not sure whether you were around during the time when we had events over in Danga City Mall. Were you there?
I wasn't really heavy. So from my point of view, when I remember buying Magic products, like I kind of gathered like, okay, what's Magic the Gathering? Okay, it's a card game, because I was heavy into the Yu-Gi-Ohs back then. And then I remember buying my first booster. No, not booster, but first
intro pack.
Like back then they call it intro pack. Now they call Planeswalkers. But yeah, I remember buying a 2012 Planeswalker intro deck at the bowling alley.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember buying that, and it was white green.
Okay.
I really remember that one.
During that time, we had some kind of arrangement with with one of the stores. So we had our stuff there, and people could buy stuff from Danga City Mall, basically. And then we'd have our events next to the paintball arena. Yeah, and we'd be playing there. Okay, up to a point where I remember some of them. I think a number of the younger players who are now older, they and some of the older players, they experience the splatter from the paintball on the cards. You know?
Oh no!
I mean, yeah. They had this netting, but somehow or other you always get
stray
splattered.
balls, yeah.
So there's always splatter, and during that time, I mean, it was important to ensure that your cards are protected.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So okay, but usually after every session, and then at the end of after the people started shooting and whatnot, we go back with spots on my t-shirts or shirts, whatever. And then I that was what I was doing every weekend. Every weekend I pack my stuff into the car, and then I bring it all the way to Dangan City Mall, and then I unpack it, and then I do the event, and then after that, after everything is settled and done, then I packed up and then I went back. So at the time it was quite there was a lot of work. So technically I almost gave up a couple of times. So, but everyone said that you should keep doing it, because if no one is able, if no one does it, Magic is going to go down again in JB. So, I proceeded to continue, and initially I didn't want to open up a store. Up to a point where actually by discussion, a couple of the players, especially those that are from elsewhere, they have that came visiting to the store, came visiting to our events, and then asked me and whatever. They gave me feedback, and they told me that one way to ensure that Magic always has a home in JB and the community is always there to grow is to actually have a brick and mortar. I never considered that for a long time. Up until 2013.
13, yeah.
It's about there. 2013. What actually persuaded me was the fact that I felt that maybe it was time, and somehow or other someone helped me to find a spot, which is the current Alexandria. And after I signed it, I knew I couldn't get away from it.
Yeah.
So that's it. Yeah.
So, I'm glad, because here's the thing. From my point of view, being a up and coming Magic player back then, 2013, that was the end of Ravnica entering Teros. So back then I was like, okay, I want to play this game again. This game looks like fun. And I remember buying my first, not really my first, but my Teros intro pack at a shop in Skudai Parade, which is no more. So I bought it there, and then I invited one of my friends to buy one too, so we played a bit. Then we had fun, but going there was a hassle. Just going there, paying for parking and so on. It was kind of a hassle. So a mutual friend of ours, he introduced us and told us, hey, there's a store here. And then okay, let's give it a shot. So we were looking around and found it. We went up and we saw the store, and we kind of played here. I mean, that was the very beginning. Whatever you see here, back in the days, there was none of that. This was a big empty space.
Yeah. Initially, there was nothing. I can still recall, no carpeting, no proper lighting, just a mini bar, one glass cabinet, one writing desk, and I think that's about it. I think we had some partitions and everything. So yeah, and then people came in, and then slowly we added tables, and then slowly we added carpeting, slowly we added more cabinets, we added an AC, and well, year by year, somehow or other, I managed to fill up the store with stuff.
Yeah. So, talking about filling up the store, so I noticed there's a lot of books, there's a lot of Warhammer products at the back and so on. Behind the camera, there's a lot of Gundams. So, how did you thought about expanding to the others? Like, I mean, the book was kind of a given because of the Alexandria Bookstore.
Okay. So initially, what I wanted to do was, it wasn't supposed to be a magic store. I initially only wanted to just open up a bookstore. However, the economics weren't that. The economics didn't work out well. So I took the decision that, okay, maybe we can just add in more stuff. Like, we started with magic. So we added stuff from magic slowly, and we built on whatever that we obtained from the contributions and from the events that we had and everything. And then it all just started with magic and books, and then eventually I added board games.
Yeah, I remember that too.
And we added board games because we needed other things to have. We couldn't just depend on magic. And then until recently, I think it's about 2016, I think. 2016, 15, 16, we added Games Workshop.
Oh, okay.
Okay, and then after about two more years, then we added Gundam model kits. So ideally, what I'm seeing the store happening right now is that the store is evolving to something that is more akin to a proper hobby store.
Yeah, that's what I noticed too, because at first, when I came here, it was your local LGS.
Yes.
It sold magic cards and magic accessories. And then with the books, like, given the bookstore name, so yeah. So as time goes on, I see a lot of Warhammer and then Gundam. So like, hey, this store now is turning into more of a hobby store. So, which is kind of good, because not many quote-unquote hobby stores survive or are around. I mean, you do have example, like a game store. They sell your video games like the PlayStation 4s and so on, maybe Switch, and then they also sell Gundams and also Dragon Ball figures and whatnot. So you do have those kind of things, but how do I put it? It's like, yeah, I mean, you go there, you can buy those things, but at the same time too, you're kind of bombarded by sounds of, okay, people playing video games and so on. Like, there's no place for people to build their model kits or paint their figures and so on.
So including what we decided I decided to add, I decided also to add on the more homey environment to the store, meaning that whenever people come into the store, it feels very warming. Okay, and people will tend to want to stay longer in the store.
That's true.
Okay, good and bad, but I look at it more as a place for the community to gather and for the community to socialize and mingle with each other. Minus the fact that it is still a store.
Yes.
Yeah, and initially it has been more of a place where they are supposed to gather. And right now we are at the point where I'm trying to have more communities within the store. Not just that, but so that the communities can intermingle between each other. Because at the end of the day, we are all hobbies.
True.
And although I may have my own personal preference, okay, whatever that I have in the store and whatever that I provide, everyone that comes in and purchases or plays or spends time here is generally a hobbyist. And there's some things that I would enjoy seeing. Some things I just, okay, you just want to spend time here, it's okay, it's fine. And then it becomes a place where people can connect with each other. Okay, and then you bring friends, you can, and I'm also quite friendly, so everyone can talk to me if they want to. And other than that, that's about it. Most of the time, the feedback that I get is that people tell me that the place is very welcoming. Probably it's because of the carpet. Yes,
that
probably.
And also the environment. Like you have, unfortunately the camera can't pan there, but on to the side there's a sofa couch where people can just sit and relax, and there's a TV for people to watch Netflix, play games, and so on. Granted, if it's too loud, I'll ask them to turn it down, because still it is a store. One thing I forgot to mention, that you also have a D&D session at the store too.
Yes. The D&D sessions are still somewhat more experimental. There was a time that we had a regular group of D&D players, but they finished the campaign, so they are no longer coming.
They're resting because a campaign could last about a few months.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then I think we have the materials. I believe we also have the DMs ready to run their campaigns. The only thing is that we just need more players. Unfortunately, I don't get to indulge in DMing. Partly it's because I have to run the store.
Oh, true.
And for D&D, there's a lot of preparation that is involved. So I usually just have people come in, and then they rent a space, and then they run their campaigns and events and everything. The space is very modular. Other than whatever that is in front that you can see behind it and whatever, all the tables can be moved around. One of the things I made it a point is that if ever there need be for us to run big events, or for us to have something different in the store, or community events that we have sometimes, the tables need to be able to be moved around.
Make it mobile, make it more space.
Yes.
For example, if you have a Warhammer session with multiple groups, so I'm just looking here, like, okay, probably you could put 2 tables here, a table there, and not including the back room. There's something else.
So to a point where we can actually feel quite a fair bit of people, and I always try my best to ensure that there's enough space for people to there's enough comfort for people. So I don't like packing people up like sardines. Even though it's better to pack as many people as possible for events especially, but I don't like it because it feels very stuffy.
From my experience, right, like I remember going to Comic Fiesta a while back, and they did one of the silliest mistakes. Like, I don't understand why, but they put the center stage for League of Legends near the entrance. So you have this congestion where people are going in, oh look, there's a big screen, I want to stand there and look. And people were back up because they couldn't move. So that, like, it's, big space, put everybody in sardines, like, not fun at all.
So I try my best to move people around. Whenever it's whenever it's possible, I always ensure that people have space to sit down on the floor if they need to. They can stand around and talk to each other. We have enough chairs. It's good enough that people are comfortable, and if need be, sometimes I adjust the schedules so that not many people come in to sit. I think our biggest event was the Magic the Gathering pre-release event. That was one of our biggest.
Recently or
it's been a
lifetime?
while. I think it's
recently,
but it's been a while. So I think we could easily fit in 32 and still be comfortable.
That's impressive.
So 32, there will be still people sitting around and people can still mingle around. Other than that, the only thing is probably the temperature in the store.
You do have air conditioners and also fans, so that can help. But if need be, you can always ask for fans.
Yeah, of course, yes.
So, looking at the store, you do sell Gundams, you do board games and books. Do you sell board games?
We do, but we don't carry them. We don't carry a ready supply that much.
It's upon request.
It's upon request. Also, partly because board games take a lot of space. And we don't. Actually, we do have space. It's just that we need the space for the gaming, and I still do not want to have the space too congested. Okay. Probably there's certain things that I have to sacrifice if I want to. It's either comfort space for more stuff, for more choices. That's probably something I have to figure out later on if I want to go in that direction.
All right.
For now, most of the board games are in-store gaming. Whatever that I feel that this is cool, this is nice, easy to play, family friendly. New player friendly, so that they can just come in and play.
All right. So, getting back on Magic, I see there's a lot of. Oh wait, also you do Pokemon. I forgot about that one. And Transformers. Wow, you do a lot.
Pokemon and Transformers is rather recent. Partly because I felt that I do not want to lean too much on one system. It's always good to have more systems. Okay, but it's very challenging over in JB itself, because because of the card games that I decide to carry.
Yes.
If your viewers notice, I do not carry Japanese card games.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. Personally, I do know the answer and whatnot, but why don't you carry Japanese card games like Yu-Gi-Oh or Vanguard?
Okay, yes. I believe everyone has been asking me that. A lot of the other storekeepers that I know have also been asking me that. It's just out of preference. I don't know. It just doesn't appeal to me.
Understandable.
It just doesn't appeal to me, and I'll just leave it as it doesn't appeal to me. It doesn't appeal to me, and the fact that for me personally, I think the reason why I have Magic is because Magic is at the top of the game. It has always been. The reason why I decided to bring in Warhammer is because they are at the top of the game. They are the best right now, currently, and of course, with regards to model kits, it's always
model
Bandai,
kits. People like play model kits, like
So there's only Bandai and whatever, and then initially it was just these three, and then after that I felt that okay, maybe I should have something
Pokemon
different.
coming in. Then Transformers was forced on you by Hasbro, or
not really. Transformers was more of it was more like how should you say, to reminisce childhood. People my age, we remember Transformers very well, very fondly.
Here too.
Okay, so seeing it in the form of a card game is quite interesting for me. Also, the fact that it falls under Wizards of the Coast. And Wizards of the Coast, of course, by experience, they have Magic, okay, and whether or not I'm being very very optimistic, okay, optimistic, not really biased, it's more of optimistic or not. It's just that I have always felt that the expertise that they have with regards to doing Magic will and should eventually be brought into the Transformers games. Yes, because it falls under the same umbrella. Perhaps the game itself for Transformers is still very young, partly because it only appeals to a certain age group. It's not like Magic. Magic, right now, everyone knows Magic, whether or not the person is into Magic or not. Okay. Regards to Transformers, it's still very very niche. A lot of the people who play Transformers, it's a lot of the older generation people. The youngsters have not been properly introduced to Transformers, other than whatever they see on TV. And for me, Transformers is just the other thing that I have. It also includes Pokemon too. I felt that okay, I should add in Pokemon because Pokemon is probably the other card game that I would want to bring because it has history.
Oh, true. They were done by WotC before, right?
At one time, yes. And partly because I believe the Pokemon community is rather mature in terms of player numbers and player size, and but I noticed that players are very exclusive.
True.
And unlike other storekeepers, I'm very I have this philosophy of, if you like to play what you want to play, you just play what you want to play. And I don't have to tell you, oh, you got to play this, you got to play that, because at the end of the day, the experience is yours. You decide whether your experience is going to be good or bad. My job is to facilitate. I facilitate the space, I facilitate the information, which nowadays people can easily find on the internet. But if anyone inquires or anything, then I'm always there. And I provide some form of organized play, meaning that there's always people who play at home, kitchen table, but whenever you come to the store, whenever you want to have an event in the store, I'm always ever ready to provide assistance.
Yeah, like for me today, later on, I'll have my Thursday night Commander, so I'm here, and well, if we have enough players, we'll have an event, right?
Yes, correct. So just as how I run the Magic events, I try my best to provide the same amount of effort and support and organized play for all the others, other game system. I try my best to actually pick up all the games. I know how to play Magic. I know how to play Transformers. I roughly know how to play Pokemon. I play Warhammer, and pretty much I think about 70% or 80% of the board games that I have, I know how to play.
So basically, what you're trying to say is, whatever in the store, whatever are in the store, you know what you're doing.
Yes, and I make it a point to get to know. But perhaps because but then that makes me a jack of all trades. So, however, my expertise will still always be Magic, and will still always be my second one will be Warhammer, because I have always liked Warhammer. I've never had the chance to, in the past, never had the chance to actually own one. But now that I have a store, I get to actually,
own a few.
Yeah, own a few, and actually build an army and paint. So
the caveat is because you kind of need to, because you have some players coming.
Correct.
coming and like, I don't
The
want to try and
RCS,
play.
correct.
So, yeah.
And then for me, I deal with fun. So basically, generally, anything that I have to do in store is for the benefit of the store. And I try my best to ensure that everyone that comes in, at least they are well informed of what they want to do, what they want to buy, what they want to spend on. Then the rest is all up to
The players.
So, I mean, you will not see me chiming in on things that people should spend on. That's not my style. In actual fact, I leave that to my general workers.
So basically, the players here, if they find something interesting that they want to buy, for example, one of the what was the recent one?
Unstable, yeah.
Unstable. So if they want to buy it, you won't say, "Oh no, don't buy that. That's bad. Like you should get this." You just say, "Okay, go ahead."
Yeah. Usually, it's more of, I believe that only a small percentage of people that come in to buy stuff from us are people that have no idea what they're doing. So most of the people who come in, they have some form of idea of what they want to buy, what they want to get. So I just facilitate. If they have no idea, then I will provide them with the necessary information.
Okay.
And then the rest is all up to them, whether they want to decide, whether they want to get. Yes, as you say, somebody asks this, I don't say don't buy this, buy this. For me, it's like, if you want this, okay, you can get it. You want to buy something else, it's okay, you can get that one.
What about sleeves? Like, do you do that for like, oh, you should probably get this one instead of that?
Okay. With regards to sleeves, I carry Dragon Shield exclusively. Part of the reason is because Dragon Shields is one of the better quality ones. They last longer.
Bang for the buck.
Yes, that's true. I noticed that usually when people buy Dragon Shields, they will be using them for a long time. Okay, and I always make sure that the accessories are of high quality, so they don't have, I mean, even though it's counterproductive.
Yeah.
Okay, but I do appreciate the fact that if people come, they want to get something of quality, they just get it, and that's it. If they want to get another one, they will choose because that's they know the quality of it.
So Adam, how about this? Like, let's just say I go around. I feel like, okay, Ultra Pro has been around for a while now, and they learned the mistakes from the previous endeavors. So I want to get something of theirs, like say an Eclipse. If I ask from you, how is it?
Okay, there's always a possibility that I can bring in. It's just a matter of demand. The general community has experience with Dragon Shields, so their preference has always been Dragon Shields. And I'm heavily invested in Dragon Shields. I believe in the quality of Dragon Shields. Part of the reason why I've not brought in Ultra Pro that much is because of past experience. Definitely, their quality sleeves isn't that good. But
Back in the days.
but now I believe that's what some people are telling me. Maybe some of the sleeves are of better quality.
Yeah, I have some of the Ultimate Guards newer sleeves, and the shuffle feel, the quality, they're good. They're it's something that it's nice and it feels good, but I think I'm used to Dragon Shield nowadays, and there's not enough Ultra Pro Eclipse for me to play around with to feel like, this
This is better or something. Yeah,
because like I kind of need more.
I think also part of the reason is because supply and demand. Whether or not, I can always inquire, but whether or not I can readily get it whenever I need it is a different story.
So with Dragon Shield, if you want something tomorrow, you can order it today and they will ship it.
In general, it always involves a distributor. So if For me, as long as the distributor is able to fulfill my requests, then I'm good. For the particular Dragon Shield items that I have, my distributor is very how should we say? He's able to fulfill
on the ball.
Yes.
So basically, whatever you need, you can get. Right?
Some people, there are some distributors. Whenever I ask something, then I say, okay, I would like this. Sometimes they just drop some of the items and then they give me a replacement without telling me.
That.
Yeah, they can. And that's one of the main issues for me because some the choices and selections are not there. However, with Dragon Shield, fortunately for us and for most of the other shops, the distributor has been able to fulfill I think about 90% of what I need and what I ask for. So it's if let's say I want a sleeve color A, I want 1 or 2 pieces, he'll give me 1 or 2 pieces. So I can pick and choose. The question is then whether or not do I still have a lot of Dragon Shield or whether I have a few Dragon Shield. So if I have a lot of Dragon Shield, then the chances of me having
is understandable. But in terms of LGS, sometimes, for example, some of the Card Kingdoms or Star City games, they carry some on the side, but those are big box companies. Like they are huge, so obviously they can store. And one more thing is also that you don't have store space. Like you're very limited in how many things you can keep.
Correct. A lot of the stuff that I have is generally magic stuff. So everything else is space is a commodity in the store right now. So I try my best not to have too much obvious clutter. Because it's very unsightly.
Yeah, true.
I try my best. Although sometimes stuff tends to lying around. Okay, but I'll always try my best to ensure that it doesn't look as cluttered as most other places that I've been to.
Oh, I remember that one store. We shall not name the store. So anywho, thank you for sharing your experience and the details about the store. It was an eye-opener, and if people if people want to play Magic and others, where can they find you guys?
We are over in Nong Heights. It's actually 15 minutes from city center. Within the Johor Bahru city itself, we are right smack in the middle of town.
Which is good because Singaporeans who come here for events have it easy, and most of the people who stay further a bit will have an easier time because it's kind of in town. It
just so happens that we are right in the middle of everybody.
True,
it just seems that way. We are in the center. Of course, there are some that are closer to us, and there are some that are a bit further. But somehow or other, we are right in the middle of everybody, or everyone that comes to the store in general.
Right. I'll put the address down in the link below. So we've been talking a lot of the store in general, but okay. This is a Commander-centric show. So, do you play Commander?
I play Commander sparingly.
Alright, so how many decks have you had for your lifetime?
Okay, in my lifetime I've only got one.
One?
Yes.
You haven't changed?
I've only ever played one deck, which is going to be featured today in this session. So it's basically the Precon Heavenly Inferno. I bought it.
It's the 2012 Commander?
11, 12, that's about that, I got it during the first spring. And the reason why I got it is because there was a lot of angels inside the deck. Not because of the commander, it was good or whatever, no. But it was because, there's a lot of angels in the deck that I want to collect. And, and I've kept the deck initially, and then I've tweaked the deck, and then I've abandoned, but it's still intact in general. So it is basically the storekeeper's.
The storekeeper's deck.
Yeah,
So
storekeeper's deck.
who is the commander, by the way? Then?
I remember that there's 3 commanders, but the more famous one would be Kaalia of the Vast.
Kaalia of the
So Kaalia of the Vast is probably among the 3 is the most popular and also the most dangerous.
So let me just see. Kaalia of the Vast is a 1 and white, black, red Mardu, a legendary creature, human cleric, has flying, and whenever Kaalia of the Vast attacks an opponent, you may put an angel, demon, or dragon creature card from your hand into the battlefield, tap and attacking that opponent, and it's a 2/2. Yeah, that's very dangerous.
Yes. It is. I don't know. When I wanted to buy it, I didn't actually look at her. For me, it's just It's just another deck.
So basically, you do have a collection of angels, right? Like you have a folder of angels.
Yeah, I try my best. I've only started collecting like a couple of years back. That's all. But yes, I do have a collection of angels that I try my best to fill up. I have more. I have mostly the newer angels, but the older angels are a bit hard to find.
I did help you with some of the older ones before.
Yeah, correct.
And there's one angel that you kind of gave up on. Was it Atraxa?
Yeah, correct. I gave up on Atraxa because
The price is too.
not just that. Atraxa was in foil.
Oh wait, that means then in Double Masters you do have a chance to get Atraxa.
And then I will probably need to get one.
All right, so with Kaalia, what's your base build? Like, what's the idea for this deck?
Initially, the precon was basically just Kaalia, and then she had some angels, some demons, and some dragons, and then it was more of aggro, semi-aggro, beatdown deck. So you drop your Kaalia. Okay, initially I think the concept still stays the same. You drop your Kaalia, and then you swing, and then you just drop your threats. Okay, and then but across the years, I've sort of adjusted the philosophy of the deck. So I'm still playing Kaalia. I still have more angels than I should in the particular deck, but it has been the philosophy is more to stacks.
Stacks.
Yes.
All right.
So somehow or other, I've always been very, very fascinated with taxing and controlling players
Without blue.
Yes. It's one of the few colors that surprisingly, as I said before, I enjoy playing red and blue. Yeah.
Back in the days.
Then I just dropped blue. I just didn't like blue at all. I didn't like the way they play. I didn't like the way blue players think.
Yeah.
So to me, which is only a personal point of view, blue players are very cunning. Okay, they are very untrustworthy, and they have this because blue is probably the only color in Magic that can prevent you from doing stuff.
And all what you're saying here is all in game, right?
Yes, all in game. Okay, all in game. And blue has that. In general, people playing blue have that air to themselves where they say that and say, I can do something to what you want to do. I can do something to what you want to do.
Like, yes, I allow you to play that
correct.
card.
They somehow or other they feel that they're better than the rest of us. So
yeah, I feel the same way. Like I think you remember me because I bought the 2014 Commander deck from you, and I bought blue.
Yes.
Oh man, I remember that game. You mean?
Yes. and I think my experience with blue has been, even though I like playing blue, after that I just decided, oh no, blue is not my color. Which is also something that is good. I noticed with a lot of new players, it seems that you may think you like one color, but after playing with many colors and then playing the different types of decks, playing with different players, eventually players will settle on a particular game style. They will settle on a particular color. particular colors, or for that matter.
That's true. That's true. Personally, for me, I started out in blue, and then went to Dimir. Sorry, I was Sultai. Then Esper. Then after that point, I kind of didn't really like blue that much. It's not that I hate blue. I kind of like blue, but the idea of blue in Commander is kind of mean. Like you're just stalling. Like you don't let people do what they want, and the poor guy just built a deck. Like, let him play what he wants to play. We're not playing CDH here. If you play CDH, then something else. But so you're talking about stacks. So what's the component for the deck for stacksing?
Right now, whatever that I have that I decided to add in, I have this Eidolon of Rhetoric.
So Eidolon of Rhetoric is a 2 and white enchantment creature spirit, and it's a 1/4. Each player can cast more than one spell each turn. So basically, you do limit them on what they can do. So blue players hate you then.
Yes, and I have this one, which is the Even Mind Sensor.
So Even Mind Sensor is a 2 and 1 creature bird wizard, has flash and flying. It's a 2/1. It says if an opponent would search the library, that player search the top 4 cards of that library instead. So basically, you don't let them do anything they want to do.
And I have a Grand Abolisher.
So Grand Abolisher is a 2 white creature, human cleric. During your turn, your opponents can cast spell or activate abilities or active artifacts, creatures, or you just would won't let them play.
Yes, and I have more, which is Linvala, Keeper of Silence, prevents activated abilities. And then I have Stranglehold, which opponents cannot search libraries. So I pretty much try my best to control, slow things down, slow enough that it allows me to come up with Kaalia, because Kaalia allows whenever if she's able to come out, and I have enough fuel, because angels and dragons and demons, they have a very high casting cost. So with Kaalia, when I drop the Kaalia, I can immediately swing.
So the idea for the deck is also that you want to swing with Kaalia and drop down your big dragons or whatever. You just say your big creatures. And I can see why she will be the threat on the board that everybody would want to remove. So is there any way that you do to protect Kaalia?
Well, just to protect Kaalia, I usually make sure that it's mainly depends on how I play or what kind of game I play. If let's say if I'm playing a one-on-one, the deck functions better in a one-on-one setting. In a one-on-one setting, this deck is able to control the board better. So it depends on how much fuel I have. If I can drop it quickly, I will drop it quickly, and then I will just swing. And then to protect her, I would just hopefully I can get lightning greaves or anything, any artifact that can protect her. That's probably the best that I can protect her with. If not, because I have a Mimic Vet inside, so the Mimic Vet can be used to
get her out for cost, and then if you don't really need her, you can just Mimic Vet another creature.
Yes, correct. But I have her. Why would I want to do something else? So as long as I have her and I have the fuel to drop every single time, then the way I play the deck is very straightforward. There's no funky stuff. There's no one card to one card to one card to one card. No, I don't play that way.
So you're not a combo player then?
No, I don't. And I for me it's very simple. I go for the easiest method, which is, to me, I just bash you in the face with all the creatures and everything. And if I have all the funky abilities and effects, sure, why not? Just make it fun.
So basically, the way you built your deck was put every angel that you like, every dragons that you like, that makes sense. That makes sense. And try to just win the game that way, like just beat down.
Yes,
like that.
yes. In general, that's how it is. In a multiplayer environment, the deck doesn't perform that well. So usually, how I would play it is because in a multiplayer setup, Kaalia would definitely be the first to die. My deck will probably be the first to be taken out, because in a multiplayer setup, there are let's say there are 4 people, 3 people will have answers for whatever that I can have. So the only way for me to play is to just put her under the radar. Don't cast her out. Only cast her out when I know I can protect her.
And also, if you have a big vet, so you can just put her
correct.
out.
And that's the only way for her to go under the radar. And when it comes to multiplayer games, it's also the way I play. I don't have a particular selection of who I want to take down. No. For me, if I have a remover, I look at the board. If let's say, oh, okay, are you a threat? All right, I'll deal with you. Are you a threat? I'll deal with you.
So basically, you play it like how you would play your standard or modern game then?
Yes. And I have quite a number of board wipes. So the board wipes are just there just to level the playing field. Is that? So I know with regards to multiplayer, everyone likes the politicking. I don't like the politicking. So I just part of the reason why I don't like the politicking is because I'm very bad at politicking. And I when it comes to taking down a player, I always try my best to take down the player with the highest life.
Highest life?
Yes. The way I play, which I think if someone else pilots the deck is slightly different, but the way I play is that I ensure that everyone's life is within range of each other. So if someone dies, it doesn't take that long for someone else to kill him. So that's how I generally run the deck. So that way, I make sure that there is no runaway winner in terms of life. Okay, in terms of other things, I do not know. But with regards to because commander sometimes I believe the life is 40.
Yeah, starting life is 40.
So to deal 40 damage to 3 people is not easy.
That I do agree, because I run a Fire Song and Sun Speaker deck, and the idea for that deck is to burn people. It's not really focusing on battle, it's focusing on more burning. And burning 3 people is not easy.
It's not easy. And especially if everyone has answers. That's why I usually avoid playing multiplayer games. But even if I'm playing multiplayer games, I try my best to level the play field as much as I can, because I would know eventually I will probably be the first one to go.
So have you thought about maybe building another commander?
No, I don't have the time. I don't have the... But I just like the way it goes, because there is, for now, even based on my reading and whatnot, there's not that many that can follow the stacks philosophy. So the stacks, colors, and then the way it hits. Kaalia hits very hard.
Yeah, like she is a 2/2, but if you have some dragons...
Yes, correct.
I could just imagine a combo here. Maybe I'll just put it at the end, but if you have Mycosilitis on board, and you have... What was the dragon again? Hellkite Tyrant?
Yes, Hellkite Tyrant.
Yeah. Drop her down, swing with Kaalia, drop the dragon down swinging, do the damage, grab everything.
Correct. And then you have like stuff that lets you hit twice, like Aurelia, War Leader. So it's like she comes in small, but she's got like 2 punches. If you definitely want to take out Kaalia. The angels and dragons and demons themselves are only a threat if I can bring them down, but they're slow. If I manage to cast them, hard cast, then it's already considered slow.
Yeah, but the idea is not to cast them like for
Yeah,
example,
that's why,
on
yes.
turn 5 or maybe turn 4 if you're lucky enough. Turn 4, get Kaalia out, swing, then bring out your huge dragon. Now people will have to look at the dragon instead of Kaalia.
Yes, correct.
That's smart.
So, and then if I have enough fuel and if she's well protected, I can pretty much finish the game in a couple of turns. So, yeah.
You kind of need to get some infinite manas for the deck because you could put in Hellkite Charger, that is a dragon.
I believe I have Hellkite Charger.
Where you can pay 7 to get an extra battle, I think.
Not sure. I have to double check. Yeah.
But just getting the extra mana, like how do you get infinite mana in Mardu? So that's the real question.
That's the main issue. But that's also the reason why I play the deck fast. If it's possible, I play it fast because I know if I play it long, the deck's not going to last.
Yeah.
So whenever it is possible, if I have enough components and the pieces are there, I will hit as fast and as hard as I can every turn, up to the point where they decide, okay, you gotta go, and it's done.
So you play in Mardu. So Mardu for me has always been this hard color to ramp out. Like it's not easy to get that mana out there. Like sometimes if you're lucky enough, you get like that nice curve. But if you are screwed, you'll probably get flooded or just drought. So how do you manage your manas?
Okay. The thing is, it's very dependent on Kaalia, and that's why we also have tutors in black. The tutoring suit for white and black is decent. It's good enough. Allows me to bring out stuff that I can quickly either I can protect Kaalia with, or I drop to mess people's games up. The key to it has always been the creatures itself, but to hard cast the creatures, that's the hard part.
Yeah, like demons and angels, demons and dragons, they're usually about CMC 5 and higher.
Yes, correct.
So just to hard cast them without double mana from green,
correct,
is going to be very difficult.
Very, very difficult. Yeah, but that's the color I chose. It's the precon that I have. I think that was another color. Yeah, there was another dragon, or I can't remember. I think it's Orthos. But I don't play Orthos. Orthos is not that good for me. I didn't like it. So it doesn't finish the game as quickly as I wanted. So I decided to stick to just Kaalia itself.
So like I asked before about the mana. So what do you put in your deck? Like any mana rocks? Or
I just put the basic mana rocks because it's still a work in progress. It's still sort of semi budget. So I put signets, I put the general stuff, soul ring, ingot, and whatever. So it's just general stuff like that. Just enough to bring out Kaalia.
So basically your game plan is just to bring out Kaalia and smash it with Kaalia. So no wonder I couldn't really perform well with her.
So your linchpin is Kaalia. So based on the threats on the board, you decide whether or not, okay, I want to take out Kaalia or not. That is a matter of whether you can protect it or you want to gamble. You can gamble because sometimes some decks don't perform as fast as this deck. So as soon as you drop Kaalia, some of the other decks are still trying to build a mana base. Because with regards to Commander, I believe Commander is a slightly slower game. So I think with this, I can probably come up in about turn 3.
Probably, if you're lucky enough and if your curve is nice.
Yeah, turn 3 and whatnot. If let's say I don't get to come out of this, or Kaalia has been removed many times, you can't do it. The other answer that I have is is an amulet. It's a 4 CMC amulet that when you pay the mana and then you tap it, you can just drop a creature.
Oh.
I think it's okay. This is one of the key ones that I have. Let me try and find it. Okay, wait. I think I know it. It's an artifact. Okay, wait. Here we go.
Basically, if Kaalia is too high, so you just use the amulet to.
Quicksilver amulet.
Okay.
That's the one.
Quicksilver amulet is a 4 artifact. It has 4 tap. You may put a creature card from your hand onto the battlefield. Yep, that works well. That works really well.
And a lot of the creatures that I have is enter the battlefield creatures. So anything as long as I can just put them onto the battlefield, even though I can't actually swing straight away. Anything of the ETB effects. If I want to have something that can haste, I usually have the Griefs.
Just the base boots then, like
the boots,
like Greaves, Swift boots.
Yeah, I only put 2 of those. So and then I have Anger.
Yeah, Anger.
I need to.
How do you handle Anger? Like for me, I have a hard time with Anger because it's too. How do I put this? It's too
situational. Situational, is it?
It's not really like I want to dump Anger out, but sometimes I couldn't dump Anger out.
Oh, there are many things. They have okay, wait. There's this there's some demons that I have that forces you to discard your cards. And then there's quite a fair bit of stuff. And then stuff that sometimes if I don't have the reliquary tower, I can force cards discard down. But the key card for having the anger in the graveyard, it will be the Sire.
So this is Sire of Insanity. It is a 4 and Rakdos creature demon, 6/4. At the beginning of each end step, each player discards his of. Oh wow, that is huge and very risky.
But the deck functions also quite well, taking stuff from the graveyard. Yeah, because I have reanimate stuff and whatnot. It's quite a fair bit of stuff. It's just but it's all bits and pieces. And then the rest is just creatures. Drop, swing. And there's stuff where you can sacrifice. If let's say that you end up casting an Anger or something. So yeah. And then card draw, lose life and everything. The deck, because the CMC of the creatures is quite high, and then it requires fuel. So I look to card draw from the black. So some of the black demons, some of the black enchantments allows me to draw cards.
Draw cards and discard.
So if let's say I draw cards and then I have extra, I just dump. And then if I find something that I can reanimate, I just reanimate.
That's true.
So that's how I generally play. But that one's a bit more complex. I prefer the more straightforward
Smashing in the face.
Yeah.
But still, you need to have a plan B, and your plan B is sound.
It looks okay. It's just a matter of just taking out certain pieces. Maybe that is good if, let's say, Kaalia is out of the picture. Quicksilver Amulet, maybe that is actually good. Quicksilver Amulet can bring out everything.
Is a 3-cost artifact. It has imprint. Whenever a non-token creature is put into a grave from the battlefield, you may exile that card. If you do, return each other card exile with Mimivet to its owner's grave. Pay 3, tap, put a token onto the battlefield that's a copy of the exile card. It gains haste, exile it at the beginning of the next end step. So basically, you exile Kaalia with Mimivet, you tap her out, swing, and then once the drop is done, you just
disappear. Yeah. Or I can put it. I can have an angel or demon that has enter the battlefield effect. So yeah, you can just drop it. It's good in blocking. It's good in attacking. So and it skips having to have Kaalia itself, just in case Kaalia becomes too expensive to cast.
Yeah. And well, if you do already have one of your demons out, you could always just maybe vet
Correct.
it out and then like.
And then when needs to, because the good thing about the demons and angels and the dragons is they have quite high CMCs.
Power defense.
Power defense, power toughness. So yeah, they're quite good. And let's say with all the extra abilities of the angels and demons and dragons, like you like the Sire or like Aurelia or Rhea, even Lifelink doesn't matter. It's just almost game. So yeah, no, I don't have anything special about the deck. It's not something extraordinary. It's just I play the game, and then if there's just far too many creatures, if I can deal with it, I'll just board wipe it, and let's start all over again. That's it.
And, honestly, looking at your deck and just hearing how you play, I have a few ideas for, okay, I could put this enchantment in, I could put this in. I mean, the deck is versatile enough that you can make changes on the fly. Like certain cards, like, what was the black card? An enchantment, 3 cost, that whenever an opponent draws a card.
I think it's Unable Dream.
Unable Dreams, yes.
Unable Dreams. Yeah.
So, like, if you were me, I would pull that one out to put something in. I mean, there's a lot of wiggle room to.
Yeah, there is. Again, it's not ideal because if given the proper treatment, I can definitely build a better deck. But I also do not want to build a deck that is that becomes how should I say, that is too overwhelming. Because again, the deck still belongs to the shopkeeper.
Yes.
And the shopkeeper is generally the person that has to play with new people and everything. So I do not want the deck to be too overpowering.
So if you were to put a level on your deck, one being random card I pick from the junk pile and make a deck, and 10 being I win on turn 1. So where do you put this deck?
The deck goes into, I think the deck goes into 7.
7.
Because it's not that, I mean, okay, if you have enough answers, you can deal with the deck. And it also depends on how I play it. Sometimes I don't go for the kill straight away. So if I don't go for the kill, that means you have a chance to play. So, but if you do not have an answer for the Kaalia itself, then it won't be long. It'll be very fast.
I see, okay. So, do you have any pet cards inside the deck? Or like cards that are your favorite that doesn't really make sense to have it in the deck? Or maybe it does?
Doesn't... Okay. In actual fact, my favorite card is not here. Okay, my favorite card has been banned in EH. It's actually Iona.
Yes.
Okay, so I don't actually have a favorite, and I don't actually build the deck with weird funky stuff just to put inside. I try my best to have it run the way it's supposed to run. I don't like my deck to be cute. Okay, to me the deck is cute if you're trying to make the deck do so many things. Okay, so I don't like it being cute. So I have a specific way of running it. So I will try my best to include the stuff related to it.
So basically everything in your deck synergizes.
Sort of synergizes. I try my best to ensure that. If let's say if you were to ask me, okay, what's your kind of favorite card that you would like to have, that you have second best, probably Everseen, probably Aurelia.
So Everseen is Everseen Angel of Hope, 5 and 3 white, legendary creature angel, 8/8, flying, vigilance. Everseen Angel of Hope and other permanents you control have indestructible. Yeah, I can see why.
And the other one is Aurelia because
Aurelia, the war leader. It's a 2 and 2 red and 2 white legendary creature angel with 3 and 4. Flying, vigilance, haste. Whenever Aurelia, the war leader, attacks for the first time each turn, untap all creatures you control. After this phase, there is an additional combat phase. Yes.
So with this, I get to attack with Kaalia twice, and I can drop another creature.
Does this work with Psionic Resonator?
Sorry, what does it do?
It is an artifact for 2. Pay 2, tap it, copy the activated trigger of a creature or artifact.
Is it an activated? No, this is a triggered.
Alright.
This is a trigger ability. It's
Was
not an
it triggered?
activated.
I forgot. But still, if you could copy the ability, right?
Yeah, it could. Yes, correct.
That would be, yeah.
But fortunately, I'm not playing Psionic because a lot of my stuff are not activated. A lot of my stuff is triggered. Like this one whenever. So the creatures that I have mostly enter the battlefield effects and trigger effects. Minus a couple of dragons. Only dragons have the ability to activate stuff.
Yeah, and well, your deck is one of those decks that are really, really fun to look at because it covers the gamut of, well, Western ideology, which is angels, demons, and dragons. Usually when you think about D&Ds, you think about Tolkien, it's always going to be dragons. D&Ds and all that stuff will be angels and demons. So those are really cool concepts. And we don't see those kind of cards that much these days. I think we kind of see them now in Core 21, but like it's been a while.
I think it has something to do with the fantasy element. So Magic has always been into the fantasy element. Of course, D&D is under Wizards too. So they it all gels together with Magic. But the good thing about Magic I've seen so far is that they are making changes in, because the concept for Magic is with regards to Magic is they can travel to different planes.
Yes.
So different planes allows many possibilities. Like for example, they went to Kaladesh, which is a steampunkish plane.
What was it again? Is steampunk / Arabic?
More in East Asian,
East Asian.
South Asian,
Southeast Asian.
Something like that.
Southeast Asian.
But steampunkish, and then they went to Islam. Islam was the first time we saw dinosaurs.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, we never saw dinosaurs before.
In Pirates, no?
Yes, in Pirates too. With Kaladesh, it was the first time we saw vehicles.
Oh yeah.
Who would have thought? I mean, Magic to have vehicles, but they turned it.
And if I'm not mistaken, in Innistrad we went and see vampires and werewolves. So the Magic idea is very fun. Like there's like, and if I'm not mistaken, Innistrad also had angels and demons.
Yes, because I think Innistrad had is the typical English setting. You have your church,
Eastern Europe, if I remember right.
Yes, correct.
So that's cool. I mean, Magic. People who play Magic does like the lore and whatnot. So that's cool. So anyway, my last question for you is, with all the commanders and all the cards that came out, Commander Precons and all the singles that came out, nothing tickles your fancy. Let's just say in a fantasy world where you have enough time, have unlimited resources to build a commander deck.
Wow.
Is there any?
If given a choice, I would definitely want to make my deck a competitive EDH deck. That's it.
Kaalia.
It's still Kaalia because it's just the way it's okay. It's the way I play my decks. It's my soul is within the deck in the sense that I do not just play stacks. the philosophy of stacks in the Commander game itself. I play Death in Texas in modern. It's the same. In general, it's the same philosophy. Too bad I cannot have it in standard, because if I were, I would love to play that too. Even though I won't really win. I mean, yeah, but I love the tax element. I love the control element, but because I'm only exclusive to white, with the addition of red or green, and once in a while I'll add black to the color.
Modern or in general?
Yeah, in modern in general lah. But I usually initially I also avoid black, but nowadays I need to add black because it seems that black, there's a lot of stuff in black that allows me to be more ambitious. It follows the philosophy of black itself. And then but I will never touch blue. I will never ever touch.
Never again.
No, never. Somehow I just don't like it. And of course I never like people countering my stuff. But I don't mind. You kill my creatures, you bought my own creatures, I don't mind. I'm okay with that. But I don't like people messing around with their libraries. I don't like people messing around with my libraries. I don't like people stopping me from doing stuff. Counter spells or return. I especially because with regards to blue, my assumption is blue always waits until the final moment to mess up with your plans. I don't like it. I mean, like, you want to attack and you say, "Oh, I bounce it into your hand." I don't mind. You want to kill it. You want to exile it. It's okay. It's fine. To me, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I can see a scenario where, you have your demon out that can tutor, but you don't have a way to, bounce it. So in a situation where if there's a political game going on, why don't you, I help you by bouncing your demon out, then you cast it to tutor for your answer. I mean, there's always possibilities like that, but I don't understand. Like, it's not fun getting your things countered or disturbed. Like, it's not fun.
And even if let's say that scenario does require my attention, I still wouldn't care. I mean, for me, it's like, okay, I'll do what I want to do, and then say, okay, you want to bounce, and say, okay, and then probably someone will offer me something, a solution to my problem, and say, okay, I'll bounce your stuff, and you can do stuff. And say, okay, sure, if you want to do that, sure. I mean, I don't care. So I just run my deck, and then if you feel that you can aid me in that sense, then do, and I'll do whatever I can. If you aid me and you're still a threat, I'll still definitely take you down. So it doesn't really matter. So I mean, as long as you're not a threat to me, that is where I will keep helping you. But if you're a threat, then I don't mind doing something about it. That's it.
That will be interesting to play with you then, because the board state, the scenario, everything is going to really based upon, okay, how can I help you out till the very last moment?
Usually that's the case. But normally it doesn't happen that way, because there's always someone within the group, or if it's a multiplayer game, that is wise enough.
That's true.
Within a multiplayer setup, my deck will probably be the first go, and I don't mind, because I don't like playing politics. So if you want to take me out of the game early, I can, and I don't mind, and it's no video. I'll try my best to bring your life down as much as I can.
All right.
And just that.
Essentially, you're technically you're the storekeeper. There's no technical team, but like, you're the storekeeper. So if you don't have, if you can't spend much time playing with us, you do have to take care of the store. So basically, if you get killed first,
I could. I would have time to do stuff with the store and the store. But don't get me wrong. I don't mind people using my deck. It's not an issue. Perhaps sometimes the deck even performs better with a different pilot.
Sure.
So I've seen my deck performing much better with different pilots. Maybe because it does not want to let me perform because I don't really play with it.
Or it could be it's just that the cards didn't come out right time. So.
It's just the deck telling me that I should play with it more often. So yeah, but yes, it happens. It happens quite often. So it's okay. I mean, it's no big deal. It's just that yeah. I mean, some people may not be used to playing the kind of gameplay that I play lah.
It's interesting thing. It's interesting to know that the playstyle for this deck is rather simple. Yet when I piloted it, I couldn't. I just couldn't. I got no idea.
Probably because I didn't know how I built the deck. But it's actually very simple. It's actually very simple. Very simple.
All right. Maybe I'll try it. Give it a shot another day because I kind of like the idea. Oh, talking about Kaalia. Another version, the same version of the card with altered art coming out soon in Double Masters, I think, or is it? Yeah, Double Masters. Interested in getting?
As long as okay. With regards to collecting cards, I don't want foils.
Oh, okay.
If it's not a foil, and I happen to have it, yeah, I'll have it. But I'm not gonna go chase after multiple alternate arts out of it. If it's the same ability, why should I get it? I mean, I have the original one. There's no need for me to get another one. But I remember there's another Kaalia. There's a second one, right? I wasn't able to get that because I didn't get the chance to get it.
That one was by a box, right?
I think so. I can't remember.
Yeah. Never mind. I'll take a look, see. So anyway, thank you, Adam, for sharing your deck with us.
Okay, thank you very much for having me.
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of the Alexandria player base now knows how your deck works and tries.
Yeah, everybody knows my secrets.
Yeah, well, they do know the secrets, but if you don't draw the cards, you don't draw the cards.
Of course, yes. I think, I mean, everyone that comes in, granted I have the time, I don't mind playing. But if many of you or the players know, it's not easy for me to do double jobs, partly because I don't function that well. Okay, so I try my best to just do one thing at a time. If I'm playing, I'm playing. If I'm working, I'm working. Even though it may seem like I'm not doing anything, but actually that's the only thing that I can do at that time. So anyone who wants to try out can play if I have the time, and there's nothing going on. Why not? I can play with you. No issue. Yeah,
it'll be nice to have you on board with the game, and let's see how you play in a multiplayer environment and see how you trash us.
I don't play well, so yeah.
Okay, anyway, if you guys would like to, we have an email now, so you can email us at thegatewatchcast@gmail.com. You can leave suggestions, questions, or comments, or whatever it is, and what else do we have? Yeah, YouTube. We have. Well, this is on the YouTube because you're watching this now. Yeah, do comment below about anything, everything, and well, I think that's about it. If I'm forgetting, I'm sorry. But I have been Norman Sanzo, and my guest is Adam, and we'll guys catch you next week with another fun episode of the Gatewatch Cast. See ya.
Okay.